Good evening, friends. Pinwatuni. Welcome to our broadcast here from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center. As you know, if you are participating, we share our Buddha Puja, religious worship in the evening with you, so that during this lockdown restriction times, you can participate from home or wherever you are. Some of you are keeping this as regular practice, and it becomes a great commitment so that you can enhance your spiritual practice. You can also accumulate merit, but also you can receive blessings by listening to the chanting and also by meditating, have peace of mind, and also practice the Dhamma in the evening hours. Some of you do dedicate regularly, so it is a great opportunity that you are having this with this broadcast. So thank you for joining and encouraging us to also continue our broadcast every day. So today is Thursday when you hold our meditation, weekly meditation on mindfulness. So basic practice to develop and continue to develop mindfulness by meditating along with us. So some of you do dedicate the worship or chanting for certain reasons, and if you do want us to, please do contact us, and we will then remember and bless. So as usual, we worship the Buddha. Before that we observe 5 precepts, and after worship we do chanting. After chanting, we do meditation. So please say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times to observe precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Pānātipātā vīramani sikkhapada samādhiyāmi, Adinādāna vīramani sikkhapada samādhiyāmi, Kāmesu miccācārā vīramani sikkhapada samādhiyāmi, Musāvādā vīramani sikkhapada samādhiyāmi, Surāmeraya majjapamādatthāna vīramani sikkhapada samādhiyāmi, Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ surakkitaṃ kattvā appamādena sampādetabaṃ. let's worship the Buddha together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sārati sattha deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Buddhaṃ jīvita pariyantaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Ye ca buddhā atitā ca ye ca buddhā anāgatā. Paccuppanā ca ye buddhā ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Natti me saranam anyam buddhomi saranam varam. Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalam. Uttamangena vandeham padapam suvaruttamam. Buddheyo kalito dosa buddho khametu tang mamang. Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko. Ehi passiko opanayiko paccattam veditabbo viññohiti. Dhammang jīvita pariyantaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Ye ca dhamma atitā ca ye ca dhamma anāgatā. Paccuppanā ca ye dhamma ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Natti me saranam anyam Dhammo me saranam varam. Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalam. Uttamangena vandeham dhamman ca tividhaṃ varam. Dhammiyo kalito doso dhammo khametu taṃ mamam. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ujjapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Sāmīcipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Yadidam cattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala. Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo. Anuttaram punyakhettam lokasati. Sangham jīvita pariyantaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Ye ca sangha atitā ca ye ca sangha anāgatā. Paccuppanā ca ye sangha ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Natti me saranam anyam
සංඝෝ මේ සරණං වරං ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු මේ ජය මංගලං උත්තමංගේන වන්දේහං සංඝං ච ත්‍රිවිධෝත්තමං සංඝේයෝ කලිතෝ දෝසෝ සංඝෝ කමතු තං මමං ඝනසාරප්පදිත්තේන දීපේන තමදංසිනා තිලෝක දීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි තමෝනුදං වන්නගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං ඒතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනින්දස්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහේ පූජේමි බුද්ධං කුසුමේන නේන පුඤ්ඤේන මේතේන ච හෝතු මොක්ඛං පුප්පං මිලායාති යතායි ධම්මේ කායෝ තථා යාති විනාශ භාවං අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ පානීයං පරිකප්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තමේ අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තමේ අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ සබ්බං සද්ධාය පූජිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තමේ වන්දාමි චේතියං සබ්බං සබ්බඨානි සුපතිට්ඨිතං සාරීරික ධාතු මහා බෝධිං බුද්ධ රූපං සකලං සදා යස්ස මූලේ නිසින්නෝව සබ්බාරි විජයං අකා පත්තෝ සබ්බඤ්ඤුතං සත්තා වන්දේ තං බෝධිපාදපං ඉමේ ඒතේ මහා බෝධි ලෝකනාථේන පූජිතා අහම්පිතේ නමස්සාමි බෝධිරාජා නමත්තුතේ කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ භන්තේ භූරි පඤ්ඤේ තථාගතේ කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ ධම්ම සන්දිට්ඨික අකාලික කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ සංඝ සුපටිපන්න අනුත්තර එත්තාවතාච අම්හෙහි සම්භතං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ දේවා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා එත්තාවතාච අම්හෙහි සම්භතං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ භූතා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා එත්තාවතාච අම්හෙහි සම්භතං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ සත්තා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා ඉදං මේ ඥාතේනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං මේ ඥාතේනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං මේ ඥාතේනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමු Satang samagamo hotu yava nibbānapattiya idam me punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
That is the end of our worship. So if you do not know, or if you have just joined us, we go live every day at 7 o'clock, sharing our evening worship, enabling you to participate via online during this lockdown restriction times. To spend some time in religious observance does bring peace of mind and happiness. And we also make it an opportunity to bless you for your good health, happiness, success and prosperity, especially during this time of difficulty. May you stay blessed. May you be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem for your complete well-being. So you as an online community, we wish you every happiness and we wish you good health. If you are ill or if you know someone who is ill, your loved ones, please bear them in your thoughts when we do the chanting, wishing them speedy recovery, every good health and happiness thereafter. So today we are also remembering, we bear in our thoughts Mrs. Nandini Tadani, who is going through a small surgery tomorrow. May she have a successful surgery and may she be blessed with good health thereafter. May she have a speedy recovery as well. So we wish her the blessings of Noble Triple Gem for her successful treatment tomorrow. And as always, we dedicate this to all our key workers, including NHS staff, doctors and nurses, working tirelessly to look after the patients and their families. May they also enjoy good health and happiness. May they develop courage and determination to continue the valuable services. So with that kind and righteous intention, we chant Ratana Sutta and Mahachunda Therubhajanga Sutta. So as you know, Ratana Sutta was uttered by the Buddha during similar pandemic. So may all the blessings that contain the compassion of the Buddha be upon you. Etena Satchena Swati Hotu. May the recitation of this be conducive for your complete well-being. And when the Buddha was ill himself, he asked Venerable Chunda to chant the 7 factors of enlightenment, Satta Bhunjanga. So we chant that, blessing you good health and happiness as well. So please listen to the chanting with great attention and respect. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Saggamokkhadang Paritta Savanakalo Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Savanakalo Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Dhamma Savanakalo Ayang Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Yani Bhutani Samagatani Bhummani Vayani Vayantalikhe Sambheva Bhuta Sumana Bhavantu Athopi Sakkacca Sunantu Bhasitam Tasmahi Bhutani Samitha Sabbe Mittam Karotha Manusiya Pajaye Divacharatto Chaharanti Baling Tasmahine Rakkata Appamatta Yankinchi Vittang Idhavahurang Va Sagge Suvayang Ratanang Panitang
නනෝ සමං අත්ති තථාගතේන ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු khයං විරාගං අමතං පනීතං යදජ්ජගා සක්්‍ය මුනි සමාහිතෝ නතේන ධම්මේන සමත්ථි කිංචි ඉදම්පි ධම්මේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යං බුද්ධ සෙට්ඨෝ පරිවන්නයි සුචින් සමාධිමානන්තරිකඤ්ඤමාහු සමාධිනාතේන සමෝන විජ්ජති ඉදම්පි ධම්මේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේ පුග්ගලා අට්ඨ සතං පසත්තා චත්තාරි ඒතානි යුගානි හොන්ති තේ දක්ඛිනේයා සුගතස්ස ශාවකා ඒතේසු දින්නානි මහප්ඵලානි ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේසුප්පයුත්තා මනසා දල්හේන නිකාමිනෝ ගෝතම සාසනම්හි තේ පත්තිපත්තා අමතං විගයහ ලද්දා මුදා නිබ්බුතින් භුඤ්ජමානා ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යතින්ද කීලෝ පඨවින් සිතෝසියා චතුබ්බිවාතේ භිය සම්පකම්පියෝ තතුපමං සප්පුරිසං වදාමි යෝ අරිය සච්චානි අවෙච්ච පස්සති ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේ අරිය සච්චානි විභාවයන්ති ගම්භීර පඤ්ඤේන සුදේසිතානි කිංචාපිතේ හොන්ති බුසප්පමත්තා නතේ භවං අට්ඨමං ආදියන්ති ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු සහවස්ස දස්සන සම්පදාය තයස්සු ධම්මා ජහිතා භවන්ති සක්කාය දිට්ඨි විචිකිච්ඡිතංච සීලබ්බතං වාපි යදත්ති කිංචි චතුහ පායේ ච විප්පමුත්තෝ චචාබිටානානි අබබ්බෝ කාතුං ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කිංචාපි සෝකම්මං කරෝති පාපකං කායේන වාචා උදචේතසාවා අබබ්බෝසෝ තස්ස පටිච්චාදාය අබබ්බතා දිට්ඨ පදස්ස වුත්තා ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වනප්ප ගුම්බේ යතා පුස්සිතග්ගේ ගිම්හාන මාසේ පඨමස්මින් ගිම්හේ තතුපමං ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි නිබ්බානගාමින් පරමං හිතාය ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වරෝ වරඤ්ඤෝ වරදෝ වරාහරෝ අනුත්තරෝ ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කීනං පුරාණං නවං නත්ති සම්භවං විරත්ත චිත්තා ආයතිකේ භවස්මින් තේඛීන බීජා අවිරුල්හිච්ඡන්දා නිබ්බන්ති ධීරා යතායං පදීපෝ ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං බුද්ධං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං ධම්මං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං සංඝං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන දුක්ඛා උපසමෙන්තු තේ ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන භයා උපසමෙන්තු තේ ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන රෝගා උපසමෙන්තු තේ එවං මේ සුතං ඒකං සමයං භගවා රාජගහේ විහෙරති වේලුවනේ කලන්දක නිවාපේ තේන කෝපන සමයේන භගවා ආබාධිකෝ හෝති දුක්ඛිතෝ බාල්හගිලානෝ අතකෝ ආයස්මා මහාචුන්දෝ සායන්න සමයං පතිසල්ලානා උට්ඨිතෝ යේන භගවා උපසංකමිත්වා භගවන්තං අභිවාදෙත්වා ඒකමන්තං නිසීදී ඒකමන්තං නිසින්නං කෝ ආයස්මන්තං මහාචුන්දං භගවා ඒතදවෝච පටිභන්තු තං චුන්ද බොජ්ජංගාති සත්තිමේ බන්තේ බොජ්ජංගා භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතා භාවිතා බහුලීකතා අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තන්ති කතමේ සත්ත සති සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති ධම්මවිචය සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති විරිය සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති පීති සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති පස්සද්ධි සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති සමාධි සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති උපේක්ඛා සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති ඉමේ කෝ භන්තේ සත්ත බොජ්ජංගා භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතා භාවිතා බහුලීකතා අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තන්ති තග්ගචුන්ද බොජ්ජංගාති ඉදමවෝ චායස්මා මහාචුන්දෝ සමනුඤ්ඤෝ සත්තා අහෝසි Utthahi cha bhagava tamha abadha tatha pahino cha bhagavato so abadho ahositi. Etena sacca vajjena roga upasamentu te. Etena sacca vajjena roga upasamentu te. Etena sacca vajjena roga upasamentu te. Sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena Buddha ratanang dhamma ratanang sangha ratanang tinnang ratananang anubhavena Chaturasiti sahasra dhammakkandanubhavena pitakattayanubhavena Jinasavakanubhavena sabbete roga sabbete bhaya sabbete antaraya sabbete upaddava sabbete dunnimitta sabbete avamangala vinassantu Ayuvaddhako dhanavaddhako sirivaddhako yasavaddhako Balavaddhako vannavaddhako sukhavaddhako hotu sabbada Dukkha roga bhaya vera soka sabbe paddava Aneka antaraya pi vinassantu ca tejasa Jaya siddhi dhanang labhang sotti bhagyang sukhang balang Siriyayu ca vanno ca bhogang buddhi ca yasava Satavassa ca ayu ca jiva siddhi bhavantu te Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu loka sasanang Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva Cirang rakkhantu dhamma desanang akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu mang paranti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So that is the end of our chanting. Blessing you every happiness, especially may you be blessed with good health and happiness during this time of difficulty or pandemic. May you stay safe and may you be healthy. So with that righteous aspiration, we chanted the Ratana Sutta and the Chundattera Bojjhanga Sutta, and we also wish Nandini Tadani, Mrs. Nandini Tadani, with good health. She's having an operation tomorrow, minor operation, so may it be successful. And may you enjoy good health and happiness thereafter as well. So may you all stay blessed. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we will take 1 minute break. So please stay tuned.
Welcome back. So every evening, Thursday evening, after our worship and chanting, we practice mindfulness meditation. So we have been doing the same over the last few weeks, every Thursday, meditating after a short reflection or a short introductory reflection. So we all know mindfulness is about an effort that we make to put an attention while meditating, and more or less aiming to develop that skill throughout as a second nature, being mindful of how and when, perhaps how our mind functions given the situation. So applying mindfulness purposely when practicing or in a sitting session, and then being able to stay mindful even at other times. Otherwise it'll look like you might be practicing for 20 minutes with me today, but 23 hours and 40 minutes you are not meditating. So meditation is to be done even when you are awake, so gradually developing your awareness to that level later on. So over the past few days we have been reflecting on various aspects, and today with a short recap of last session, which I believe we're talking about how to develop awareness of the mind as things happen or as it happens. So although we chose breathing as an object, we do know that breathing or meditation using breath was even there before the Buddha's time. But we use breathing as an object so that we can apply or train the mind to develop awareness and concentration. As much as we need concentration, we need to also develop mindfulness, because concentration sometimes can gradually become a skill, which is very important. But most importantly, it is about developing awareness, which helps you to, so they can go perhaps like side by side as a parallel track. You need concentration, but you also need mindfulness, samma sati, samma samadhi, and you also need great effort to continue to keep on practicing. So even in the Chunda Bojjhanga Sutta we chanted, sati as one of the first factor. So it helps you to the continuous practice of bhavitaya bahulikataya. The more you engage with it, the more you develop that, the more benefits we can have. So I was just reading a book some time ago, and I want to refer that to Dr. Richard Davidson, who has been working a little bit in his effective neuroscience. He's the director of the laboratory for the effective neuroscience, and with his research he's been coming to the conclusion of the aspect of rewiring our brain circuits. That's what it's being used. So it is about, because the more people are unaware of the way the mind functions, for example with depression or anxiety or worries or stress, so there is a great psychological benefit as well, and because happiness is from the way we learn or we train ourselves to perceive the things. So if you take the Buddhist approach, it is about knowing that a state of mind or true awareness or true mindfulness is about being aware of the conditioning and the conditioned. The conditioning and the conditioned. So sankhara and sankhata. So when you look into breath, so as I said, breath is not mindfulness, meditation, but breath is just an object being used. And how can you see breath? You can't see breath, but obviously you can sense breath. So you can feel the breath going in and feel the breath coming out. And in this case, obviously, how do we then link it to mindfulness? Because with that in-breath and with that out-breath, you see a pattern, so you see a flow, and you might also see, if it is to do with the body, sometimes you feel relaxing or refreshing. So as you breathe, as you use the breath as an object, and we train our mind to be with the object, so watching the breath will help you to develop concentration. But being with the breath is mindfulness. So watching the breath will help you to develop the concentration. So being with the breath is mindfulness, and then the concentration also develops from there. So you are seeing as it happens. So you are seeing it as a short breath or a long breath. You're watching that happen with the sense of, when it is with the sensation, you can feel the coldness going inside. You might be aware of the warm air coming outside. And you can develop that sort of understanding with it. So we do know that there is nothing to like or dislike in breath. So it is a very good tool to develop that. But when it comes into the wandering mind, so this is where awareness really is helpful, and knowing that it is happening is mindfulness. So knowing that you are with the breath is mindfulness. So being able to stay in one pointedness becomes a skill. But if you are with the breath is mindfulness. You are developing that understanding. You are there. You're knowing. You are in the present moment. You are in the breath. You are in that breath. Okay, so to develop the concentration is different. To develop one pointedness is different. Knowing that you are in the breath, in that present moment, is awareness, mindfulness. So should your mind wander, should your mind react, this is where the awareness as it happens is quite important. So, for example, your attention span, your mind went to a pain in the body. So, knowing the presence of the pain, okay, so as it is happening, so your mind is going to the pain, the presence of the pain as it is happening. Now, that if you don't see it as it is happening, there's a high chance, by nature of habit, that we react to it. We react to it. Okay, so when we react to the pain, no one likes pain, but we might start to feel worrying, we might start to feel anxious, maybe develop fear. So your mind has now become conditioned by the pain. So the pain is conditioning our mind. So agitation is a result. So your mind is agitating now, or agitated, or getting frustrated, or getting worried. So the conditioned mind, are you aware of that? Are you aware that it is the conditioning that is taking place? So whether or not we are aware, the pain will still be there. So if your mind got attracted to some other strong, attractive object, maybe like a good, happy memory, for example, then that the pain has not gone, but your mind has gone away from the pain. But the pain will still be there. Sometimes this is quite obvious in pins and needles case. So your mind has gone to a more attractive object, could be a thought or a memory. Now the pain is still there. So you can see that, so at the present moment your mind has now gone to something different. So being aware of that. Now perhaps the response that we have when the mind is with the pain, you will then see that your conditioning mind, you can see the nature of the mind. So it is that from the feelings to the nature of the mind, so the conditioning and the conditioned. So what arose in your mind? Did you get angry? Did you get frustrated? Did you personalize the pain? Or my leg? Or my back? And therefore the conditioning, if you are not aware that it is being conditioning or conditioning is taking place, then we are already into the conditioned. It's okay. Maybe even at that moment, if you are aware, then what we do is we see it as it is happening, but we don't get involved with it. You can let yourself not to get involved with it. Okay, there is agitation now. So we're not running away from it, but we're trying to acknowledge the presence of it. So this is why when your mind, if you don't get involved with certain conditioning factors, your mind will stay clean like this. Your mind will stay clean. But the moment a tea bag goes into the water, which I used last week as well, then the mind is becoming conditioned. Sankhata. So a state of happiness is the asankhata. Like the Buddhas, enlightened ones, are always in the asankhata state. They are never conditioned. They will just observe or see as it happens. Yatha bhuta jnana. We are still trying, we are not there at all. Some of us might have been, I'm not sure, but we are not enlightened to see as it is, as it happens. Most of the time we only see when it is, when it's already darkened, the tea bag has darkened the water, then we know when it is conditioned. So enlightened ones can actually not get involved even in the conditioning state. So they will not come to that conditioned state. For us, a pain can develop irritation, agitation, worry, anxiety in ourselves. So therefore, mindfulness or true mindfulness is quite well said in one of these common Pali words. What is right mindfulness? Katamaja bhikkhave samma sati. So ida bhikkhave bhikkhu kāye kāyanupasvihariti ātāpi sampajāno satima vinayya loke abhijjā domanasam. Ātāpi sampajāno satima vinayya loke abhijjā domanasam. So meditator, and what meditator is right awareness? Here a meditator dwells ardently, so with great effort, with great diligence, will constant through understanding and right awareness, observe the body in the body, having removed craving and aversion towards the object. So it is talking about when you are in that state of awareness, you will not categorize good and bad. Because the moment you actually categorize good and bad, so the pain, you might have brought your previous notion of experience, it will do this to me now. So you will have fear developing. You will, it is an object that you will then start disliking because it will cause this harm to yourself or to you. So therefore, satima vinaya, so mindfully you look at what? You look at, you don't look it with craving or you don't look it with aversion. So there is no likes and dislikes in what is happening. So in the conditioning, you are not applying your likes and dislikes. You don't even divide the object. So that's why in the past few days I've used the word, we don't form opinions about what we experience. When you start forming opinions, we are developing our personal look into it rather than seeing the pain as pain. So we are in the condition trying to understand the conditioning. We should be in the unconditioned to understand the conditioning. So mindfulness is about that present moment, how your mind moves from one object to another. Be mindful of it, don't get involved, recognize it, release it, and return to breathing. So we'll develop that state of unconditioned state. We need to develop that state. If you're mindful, then you will not let it affect you. So being in the present moment, seeing the arising as arising, and seeing the ceasing as ceasing will help you to be in the current moment state in terms of mindfulness. So being in the present as it happens. So the pain, so if you don't see the pain as pain, what will happen is it will have already affected your mindset. So therefore, even in the concept of rewiring, it is about that the response or the emotions or even the mind in terms of our, whether it is stress or whether it is anxiety or worry or depression, it is about that not being in that state really helps you to actually be positive and be actually and develop a different state of experiencing that psychological benefit, which is happiness, because it will not bother you. You are not using fear to see the pain. You are not using worry to see the pain. You're not even using your painful experience to see the pain, because that pain is then seen with aversion or with dislike, domanassa. And there are some good things as well, which we might enjoy, we might want it to continue. So then the craving comes in, avijja, some happy moments, happy experiences. Even in meditation, sometimes you might experience a blissful state, and we'll always start looking for that and we'll enjoy that. And there are some good experiences. Most of the time we see the pain sharply, but good things we forget to contemplate. We just keep on entertaining ourselves, forgetting about the mindfulness at that stage. When it is painful, we think, if I ignore it, it's going to run away or it's going to go away. Whereas we never do anything in good feelings. So when there is happy experiences, we also note the happy experiences, not just at the times of difficulty or bad pain or numbness or the worrying thoughts. So happy as happy feeling, or sad as sad feeling. They are simply meditation objects. Every experience is a meditation object during this sitting session. So with that short reflection, we will meditate for about 20 minutes. So please be prepared. Okay. So sit straight first, adjust yourself. We will continue with this discussion next week on happiness and the Atape Sampajana, that Pali phrase that I used. So all you need is an upright body for the timing. So it doesn't matter if you are sitting on a chair or sofa or even cross-legged on the floor, but upright body. So if you move forward, you don't have to rest your back. Balanced body. Right hand on your left palm, and gently close your eyes. So having closed your eyes, just take a moment to experience or witness that calmness in your body. we do this by scanning. So be mindful of the way the body is posed. So balanced head, so head to toe, and this upright body with your arms hanging, slightly bent at elbows, and right hand on your left palm. And you can even notice the touch of your palm against your right hand, or even the clothing against your hands. Some of you might notice the warmth of your palm. So straight back and slightly bent at your hips. And then your knees. So some of you might feel the weight or the tense of your body at this stage. Others might feel relaxed. And slightly, obviously bent at knees, and either feet firm on the floor or your ankles or sides of your legs touching the floor. So a quick scan of the way your body is posed indicates that the body is not in moving or motion, it's still. And we try to still the mind as well by giving it a job to look at something, and the only thing your mind has to do is be with the breath. Remember, being with the breath is meditation, not the breath. If there are other family members sitting with you, observe their presence, and moving on the layout of your room, just to observe and notice your location. So you are mindfully in your room or hall. Just bring your peaceful attention to your breath now, and take a long deep breath, 3 long deep breaths. Another long breath. And another long breath. So we are breathing. That is where we have to look. Every moment there is either the breath going inside your nostrils or coming out. And as it goes inside, just be with the breath as it goes right into your lungs. Breathing in, breathing out. If you are new, you can do your counting one. So start of the breath is 1. As you continue, 2, and then as you finish, 3. When you breathe out, you start with 3, 2, 1. So the duration is important to observe. This is the training we are doing. We're giving the mind to notice things as it is. So if it was a short breath, you train your mind to notice that the in-breath is short. Short out-breath. Long in-breath. Long out-breath. Observe as it happens and as it is happening. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Should your mind wander, Remember, whatever channel it is, seeing as seeing, hearing as hearing, thinking, tasting, planning, whatever channel it is, just recognize what it is, let it go, come back to your breathing, recognize, release, return.
do take some time every day, at least 20 minutes, to practice mindfulness. That is being in the present moment, as I said earlier, not getting involved, but seeing the experience as it happens, and then you can then apply that to your day-to-day activities as well. So remember the facts that we spoke about, the conditioning and the conditioned. Don't let your mind get to the stage of conditioned, such as reaction to the pain, for example, that we took today. So thank you for joining with us today. Stay safe, take care, have a very good evening, okay, and good night. See you tomorrow at 7 o'clock.